ওয়েলকাম স্টুডেন্টস। আজকে আমি যে পেপারটা নিয়ে যে পেপারের এমসিকিউ আর শর্ট কোয়েশ্চেন্স নিয়ে আলোচনা করব সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের এই বছরের ডিপ্লোমা ইন ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর 4th সেমিস্টারের ইলেকট্রিক্যাল মেশিন 2 পেপার। যারা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল স্টেট কাউন্সিল অফ টেকনিক্যাল এডুকেশনের ছাত্র তারা ডেফিনেটলি এটা থেকে উপকৃত হবে। অলসো দোজ হু আর প্রিপেয়ারিং ফর ডিফারেন্ট কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামিনেশনস regarding junior engineer of different state government services as well as for assistant engineer examinations, they will also definitely get benefited out of this video. So without delaying, just we will start answering the questions. Okay, so what is the first question here? The first question here is, in three-phase induction motor, both stator and rotor core is laminated. Only stator core is laminated, only rotor core is laminated, none of this. So definitely we know that to reduce the eddy current loss in three-phase induction motor, both stator as well as the rotor core is laminated. So option A here is our correct answer. Okay, the next question, when a 40 volt 50 hertz 6 pole induction motor is rotating at 960 rpm on no load, okay, its slip is what? So for a motor with number of poles P equal to 6 and frequency of operation 50 hertz, what will be the synchronous speed? The synchronous speed is 120 into F means 50 by P, that is 6. So this is definitely equal to 1000 rpm. Okay, now what is slip? Per unit slip is basically ns minus nr by ns. So 1000 minus 960 by 1000, what you will get? You will get 40 by 1000, so that is 0.04. So now if you multiply it by 100, you will get the percentage, which is here to be as 4%. So option D here is our correct answer. So now what is the next question? A short air gap in induction motor reduces what? So basically short air gap means we will be having higher magnetizing reactance. Okay, so as the magnetizing reactance is higher, the corresponding current will be lower, so we will get a lower magnetizing current. Okay, so option C here is the correct answer. With increase in rotor resistance, the starting torque in an induction motor will increase in rotor resistance will definitely increase the starting torque. That's why we use the rotor resistance when we have a wound rotor induction motor. Okay, so it basically increases the starting torque. Turbo alternators are generally employed to run dash rpm. We know that turbo alternators are used where the rpm is very high. So basically the option C here, that is 1500 or 3000, that is the rpm for turbo alternators. Now what is the next question? In concentric winding, number of slots are equal to number of what? So in case of concentric winding, we know that the number of slots are basically equal to the number of poles. So option B here will be our correct answer. In an alternator, the effect of armature reaction is minimum at power factor of what? So definitely the armature reaction will be minimum when the power factor is highest, that is at unity power factor the armature reaction is minimum. If the alternator is operating at leading power factor, its voltage regulation may be negative. Okay, so you have to remember that in case of leading power factor, it is possible to have a negative voltage regulation. A star delta starter is equivalent to an auto transformer starter with tapping off. When a auto transformer is basically tapped at 57.7% of its winding, then it is equivalent to the same machine starting with a star delta starter. Okay, so option C here is our correct answer. Next question, rotor slots of a squirrel cage induction motor are skewed. Skewed means it is basically not straight, it is somewhere angularly placed on the periphery of the rotor. So what are the benefits? It basically eliminates the magnetic locking between the stator and the rotor. Okay, and also reduces the noise. So option B here is our correct answer. Next question, The maximum possible speed at which an alternator can be driven to generate 60 Hz is, so definitely we know that the minimum number of poles P equal to 2 and here F is equal to 60. So the maximum possible speed is Ns is equal to 120 into 60 by 2, that will give you 60 into 60, that means 3600. So 3600 rpm, that is option D is our correct answer. Now what is the next question here? The next question is, which of the following motor will have a relatively high power factor? Of these four motors, basically the capacitor run motor. The capacitor run motor is having the highest power factor. So option C here is the correct answer. Okay. So next, the short questions are basically true and false. You have to find out the statement is true or false. So number one question or the statement, single phase induction motors are self-starting in principle. Definitely not, because single phase induction motors requires an auxiliary winding for its starting. So this statement is basically false. Okay. Next statement, synchronous reactance can be determined from open circuit and short circuit tests of an alternator. Definitely it is true. With the help of these two tests, we can find out the synchronous impedance. So this is true. Next statement is, direct online starters are generally used for three-phase induction motors up to 5 HP. Definitely, we know for the small motors, that is for small induction motors, we can use direct online starting. But when the motor becomes higher in size, we have to use other methods like auto transformer starting, start delta starting. Okay, so this statement is basically true. So going to the next statement, what is the statement? The direction of rotation of a synchronous motor can be reversed by interchanging any two of the supply terminals. Definitely not. This can be done in case of a three-phase induction motor, but for synchronous motor this cannot be done. So this statement is basically a false statement. Next statement, AC series motor have high torque to weight ratio than DC series motors. It is true, because the AC series motor can have high torque to weight ratio than a DC series motor. So this is a true statement. Next, linear induction motor is used in traction. Definitely linear induction motors are used in traction, basically for bullet trains where magnetic levitations are used. So this is a correct one. So this is true. Next statement, the power output of a three-phase induction motor will be maximum when slip is 0. Definitely not, because at 0 slip you will not be getting any power from the system. So this statement is false. Salient pole construction of rotor of an alternator provides better balance and less noisy operation. It is wrong, because salient pole means projected poles which are used in water turbines. Means these alternators are basically used with water turbines. There we get huge amount of noise. Okay. Also operation is not that much smooth. So this statement can be considered to be as a false statement. Next question is, induction motors require more maintenance compared to synchronous motors. No, induction motors are basically the most robust motor available in our power system or electrical engineering. So this statement is false, because induction motors require less maintenance than any other kind of motors. Reactance motors are operated at synchronous speed. It is true, because all reactance motors are having a speed which is equal to its synchronous speed. So it is a true statement. Next question or the statement, the speed of squirrel cage induction motor can be controlled from rotor side. Now see, for squirrel cage type of induction motor, the rotor is pre-constructed and no modification is possible. Okay, means we cannot vary the resistance of the rotor, which is possible in case of a wound rotor induction motor. So in case of squirrel cage motor, the variation of speed is not possible from any control of the rotor side. So this statement is basically a false statement. Okay. Last and final one. Synchronous motors operated under overexcited condition can be used for improvement of power. Definitely, it is true, because this condition of operation makes the motor to be working as a synchronous condenser. Okay. And we know Synchronous condenser in power system basically used for the upliftment of the power factor. So this is a true statement. So I think all the questions are very much clear. Now this is not only beneficial for your semester examination, but also helpful for different competitive examinations like SSC Junior Engineer, West Bengal Public Service Commission Junior Engineer examination, and also for Assistant Engineer examinations. So if you like the video, kindly subscribe to the channel. Also share the channel with your friends so that they can also get benefit out of it. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching.